This isn't your grandfather's NASCAR anymore. The sport of left-hand turns and a good old boys mentality, made up predominantly of white drivers, is putting both hands on the wheel and trying to steer its sport towards a new audience.
The diversity platform is an important one for NASCAR, and we recognize that America is a demographically diverse place, and NASCAR wants to be equally diverse in every aspect of our business,
Including the front office, with Revolution Racing's Max Siegel becoming the first and only African-American president of a NASCAR franchise. Jamie Rigaud is one of many female engineers in place, and former NFL player Dion Williams, now turned front tire man, has found a second career in the pits. And there's been a concerted effort to diversify behind the wheel. Darrell Wallace Jr. came from NASCAR's Drive for Diversity program, which he began when he was just 16 years old. The now 20-year-old, known as Bubba, made history at Martinsville in 2013 when he became the first black NASCAR driver to win a series race in 50 years.
I think the biggest thing that set me was the relief. And then I get in victory lane and they're talking about all the history behind it and the magnitude of that, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even see that. So that was another tearjerker there of being a part of that. I just go out there and do my best, and next thing you know, well, you just were the highest finishing African American in this race, and I'm like, okay, sweet.
Another driver in the program demonstrates NASCAR's intent to extend its global reach. It's Mexico's Daniel Suarez. And having started out 2014 winning his first two races, the 22-year-old is on pace to be one of the future stars in motorsports. The second-year driver on the NASCAR KN Pro Series East, a regional racing series that feeds their national series, says the toughest transition into the sport hasn't been the driving, but the language barrier.
But I feel like we have been learning a lot about how to communicate with the team. I feel like all this, thinking in English as fast as possible and, send the communication for the team. We need to work on it, and we worked on it last year, and I feel like all this adaptation is pretty decent right now.
NASCAR's Drive to Diversity program isn't about forgetting about the legends of the past or bypassing those that are on top of the sport right now in the present. It's about looking toward the future and making the sport more representative of what the world looks like today. Right now, NASCAR has one of the largest fan bases of any sport in the country and is the second most popular TV sport. But the criticism is that it's made up of 60% men and nearly 80% of them are white, mostly from southern and midwestern states. While success for drivers like Suarez and Wallace helped move it in the right direction, last year's Rookie of the Year says there's still a ways to go.
For me, when I'd encounter the bad and the negative side to it, the racism, I was too young to really understand it. I'd get hand gestures thrown out, slurs being thrown out, but I was just like, okay, what is that, And my parents, it hit them because they understood it, of course, but they just told me to go out there and win again. Well, okay, I'll do that, and we'd go out the next weekend and win, and either they'd be quiet or just, stop complaining and, finally say, the kid's good.
While change isn't likely to happen overnight, NASCAR's hope is that this is the one case in the sport where slow and steady wins the race. Jessica Taff, Al Jazeera.
It's unbelievable. We let him know that we are ready. Here he comes out of this Toyota.